Hi there. This video was inspired by what I've seen on a couple of YouTube channels that I follow recently. In both cases, the presenter had received comments, which are not that unusual anyway, comments from people basically berating them because of the fact that they are using digital and that they do some post-processing because, film is, of course, the only medium if you're a true photographer. This purist attitude is kind of ridiculous. Photography is a technology. It's a technology that leads to art. Just like paint is a technology that leads to art. The simple chisel is a technology that leads to art. The carving knife is a technology that leads to art. So, if somebody comes up with a better chisel or a better knife or a better paintbrush, does that mean that we can't use it? Come on. And then, of course, there's the ridiculous argument that true photography is what you capture in your camera. The greatest photographers of all time, if you make a list of them, how many of them gave us images that were exactly as they came out of the camera? Hardly any. One of Henri Cartier-Bresson's most famous images was taken through two planks of a fence. He couldn't even see what he was shooting, and it was cropped. Elliot Erwitt's work, much of it is cropped. Arnold Newman's famous photograph of the composer Igor Stravinsky at his piano was heavily cropped. Then you get dodging and burning. Ansel Adams spent hours and hours in the darkroom fine-tuning his images. I mean, he created his own tools to do the work with, some of which that leave people baffled even today. They pick it up and look at it and said, what could he possibly have used this for? The result is that what came out of his camera and what ended up in his final print were quite different. So people, post-processing has always existed. People were compositing images years ago. I mean, decades ago, over a century ago. People have found novel ways of using the medium. People like Man Ray did images that involved solarization and other processes in the darkroom that ended up changing the image. So people, get off of those high horses, please. I mean, do not just label yourself a purist and go out and shoot a roll of film, get it developed, and that's it. I know this may sound a little harsh, and I know that there may be some backlash to this, but let's be honest. If I go out with this thing and a roll of film, am I more of a photographer than if I go out with this thing and take some digital images? I don't think so. In fact, I think that with this, I will get more creative for the simple reason that I will be able to fine-tune what I see. I will be able to work with the image more. And then, of course, there's the argument, well, when you take it in the camera, that's you showing your skills and photography and so on and so on. So, do you think that most painters, most famous artistic painters, simply started and finished a painting and didn't make any changes in between? Let's face it, guys. This is a ridiculous argument. The point is that photography is photography. Photographic art is what you finally do with the image you have captured. If that means posting it or printing it exactly as it was shot, good for you. That means you really got lucky with that one. Henri Cartier-Bresson, most of his images were not cropped, nor were they heavily processed. But pretty much every other photographer, film or digital, has had at least some work done in his images. And like I said, even Cartier-Bresson's work was not entirely free of some manipulation. So, folks, I hope I haven't upset anybody with this, or if I have, I've upset the right people. Because, as I said, we need to be aware of the fact that we are merely damaging our own art form by putting unrealistic restrictions on it based on some arcane idea that somehow film is the holy grail and that anybody who messes with anything that's captured on film is a heretic. There you go. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a like. If you didn't, I can understand this. If you would like to see more of my videos, then subscribe to this channel. And, of course, if you think anybody can get anything useful from this particular video, by all means share it. Well, bye for now.